Hold up.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Foxy298 here, and welcome back to a brand new video if you guys stay here on my channel. Today we are back with my F1 2016 Career Mode Season 4, Part 14 here for the Italian Grand Prix. Yeah, welcome back everybody as well. It has been a while since my last F1 video, or last video in general. Of course, if you guys may or may not have known, if you may have kept up with the channel or not, you may only just be here for the F1 purposes. Unfortunately, one of my family members passed away last week, and I said that I was not going to be doing any more videos for the rest of that week until I basically just, you know, be there. Basically, family comes before YouTube is the main thing, aim of things. You guys sent some very heartwarming messages in, and I really do appreciate it, and it does mean a lot to me. It's still tough at the moment, but it's definitely got a lot better, and you guys have obviously made it a hell of a lot easier for myself as well, and I really do thank you ever so much for that. But if you do enjoy today's video, don't forget to click that like button. It'd be absolutely awesome. It really does mean a lot to me, as well as subscribing to the channel. That also means even more to me, and yeah, let's get into today's video. So of course, in the previous race, if you haven't caught up with it, sorry, it was the Belgian Grand Prix, a very crazy race, the craziest of the season so far for sure. Of course, we had the wet weather involved in it. We had so many DNFs and so many crashes, and some big crashes as well in terms of the top tier drivers. I'm not going to say it was myself. And then we've also had the battle with Sebastian Vettel, and we crucially did pick up the win in that Grand Prix, and we're hoping to try and rectify that here for the Italian Grand Prix, the home of Ferrari. But anyway, something I wanted to mention now, I was talking about Pascal Wehrlein in the previous Grand Prix, and how that he's going to make his move to Sauber, and that Haryanto's move was unlikely to happen. However, I've got a man on hand who's come and helped me out, and it's from Febby Christian. So you can see the comment on your screen. He says, "Hi, I'm Chris, your subscriber from Indonesia." Why is that just done that? Okay, here we go. So Rio's major sponsor was Pertamina, I think it is, Indonesia's biggest oil company. Many media from Indonesia say that Pertamina already ended their sponsorship to Rio. Pertamina vice president said that they didn't have enough time to make the deal with them, but according to his manager, Rio has many offers from other countries in Asia. Rio also said in the mid-season, after being replaced by Ocon, that F1 2017 was still on his priority. So thank you ever so much. Not only that you're a subscriber from Indonesia, which is absolutely crazy to think someone's watching. I'm just a little kid. I'm an 18-year-old in Wales recording videos, and there's someone in Indonesia watching my videos. It's crazy, honestly, when I see people from other countries watching. But he has come through to the rescue. He is my main source from Indonesia, and he has told me that, obviously, as you can see from the comment there, that Mr. Ocon, Mr. Rio Haryanto still has an opportunity to be in Formula 1. So thank you ever so much for that, Febby. I really do appreciate it. That is most appreciated, like I said again. Thank you ever so much for sending that comment in and giving me the extra information to provide for you guys. Now, into qualifying we go. We're going to be qualifying into Q1. We got safety 3 on the soft tyres. I felt there was no need to qualify on the super soft tyres. As well, guys, let me know in the comment section down below by giving it a like on nothing, really. I don't know why I said give a like in the first place, but what would you like to see on the channel more? Now, of course, I've taken a break, which means that, you know, I've been just thinking about stuff, and at the moment we do F1, co-op F1, budget builder, and some Star Wars here and there. What more do you want to see on the channel? You know, like, what other content, what other videos do you want to see that maybe I haven't done, or something within a game that I've played, but just feel like I could make a series out of it? If you've got something in mind, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd like to see what videos you'd like to see for the future, as I do push towards my 1K subscriber goal. So as you can see then, into qualifying we go, as we were anyway. In Q2, we got through comfortably on the super soft tyres, but in Q3, it was actually raining during my lap, and I went out as quick as I possibly could. However, Sergio Perez took full advantage of that, and he's going to take pole position for the Italian Grand Prix. So I don't know how he got pole, because I set my lap time before Perez, but somehow Perez just mastered the conditions more and got out there and got pole position. So a fabulous job from Sergio Perez in the Force India, and he comes through and takes, quite frankly, a very surprising pole position. Wasn't expecting, obviously, Perez to get pole, but unfortunately it wasn't the best in terms of qualifying. But we did do okay to get P4 considering the weather conditions. However, unfortunately, we do believe that there is going to be some rain forecasted for the race. But anyway, let's get into the race for the Italian Grand Prix.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Sergio Perez and Force India start on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen and a Ferrari, Nico Rosberg and Bottas, Massa, Ricciardo, Vettel and Nico Hülkenberg, Sainz, Kvyat, Roman Grosjean and Magnussen, Haryanto, Wehrlein, Fernando Alonso and Jenson Button, Palmer and Gutierrez, Marcus Ericsson and Felipe Nasser starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright then guys, as you can see we're on the grid here for the Italian Grand Prix, and as shown it is going to be raining for the entire Grand Prix. So this is actually the first time in the career mode series that we're going to be having a full wet weather race. We've had a couple of intermediate conditions in just like in normal racing, but we've not had a full wet Grand Prix yet in this career mode for Ferrari. So this is going to be a big test for us to see how well this Ferrari can cope, especially in these wet conditions. So as you can see then, we're going to be on the formation lap with Perez on pole, Hamilton in second, Verstappen starting third, and then myself is obviously in fourth with Rosberg, and then I believe Vettel qualified all the way down in ninth. So it's going to be difficult, but as you can see we're on the grid here for the Italian Grand Prix. We've got 5 red lights and it is lights out. Here we go for the Italian Grand Prix. It's not been a good start from us actually. We've actually been bogged down a little bit on the start. Rosberg has had a great start himself, and Perez has also had a good start from pole. Hamilton's going to have to follow him behind. Perez looks like he's going to be the leader into the chicane, but as we make the charge into the chicane, we're actually going to dive bomb it down into the chicane we go, and we make it stick. A very late braking maneuver, very bold maneuver there as well. And we have managed to make it stick, and we are up into the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. We broke super late. We came charging in like a torpedo, and that's nice to say because it is obviously in full wet conditions, and we just dived it and we made this corner stick. So a brilliant move to get us into the lead of the Italian Grand Prix, with Perez now down into second and Hamilton down into third place. But we have still got obviously a full 27 laps of this Italian Grand Prix to go, and in these conditions, who knows what's going to happen as we make our way through into the Lesmo corners now. Lesmo 1 completed, not too bad, a little bit skatey of course as we try and navigate the corners, but unfortunately we've had a safety car that has come out on the first lap, and Haryanto unfortunately is out of the Italian Grand Prix, so he's obviously triggered the safety car. I'm going to find out why. So they've just come past the Curb Grande now, coming into the chicane here. Haryanto's getting stuck behind one of the Renaults, and he's obviously, he's made contact with some, that's just literally contact with other drivers, and he's just broken his wheel there, so that's unfortunate. Now I just wanted to show something. So here's Hamilton. Look at that, intermediate tyres on the front of Hamilton's car, which is a bit weird, but he's got full wet. Look at this. Inters, but he's actually got wet tyres. So I thought I would just put that in there. It's a little bit of a funny glitch. Hamilton's front tyres on the outer rims were intermediates, but on the inner, they were full wets. So it was a bit weird, and I thought it was quite cool, so I just left it in there. But as you can see, onto lap 4 of the Grand Prix, the safety car is going to be coming in at the end of this lap, and we can resume our racing and get back on with things. As you can see here, we now resume the racing here, getting a little bit of a different line through Parabolica, trying to make sure I get the best line possible without sliding. This is a tough corner to get right here, especially in the full wet conditions for that matter. You can see, though, how Lewis Hamilton, though, has had a great run off of this corner here, and he's going to make a move down the inside of Sergio Perez. Not quite as bold as my one. Of course, I had to go past more drivers to do that, but he has made it stick, and he's up to second place, and now he can set his sights on charging down the dive bomb Torpedo Man, which is me in my Ferrari / submarine. So as you can see here, we're carrying on through the Curb Grande. Lewis Hamilton behind us with Perez in third now. So still good job for Perez. Of course, he's been very competitive actually. Of course, in Belgium, he got taken out by my teammate Vettel. And then, of course, here, he's currently running in third. But Felipe Nasser, unfortunately, is out of this Italian Grand Prix, unfortunately. I'm going to go find out why. So as you can see here, Nasser is currently flying along here. And unfortunately, he's just, okay, he's literally just... okay, there's like 7 cars there. There's 2 Renaults, a Toro Rosso, a Haas, and 2 Saubers, and they've all just gone into each other, and they've all just blown each other up. So the look at this. I'm sorry, but that's just a case that no, I'm sorry. That's obviously Nasser's fault. He tried to make the move, then he turned in on the Renault, and then of course he smashed into the Renault's side pods, and he lost control. Too many cars to make that sort of move stick. On to lap 9 of the Grand Prix now, and unfortunately I did not show it in this replay. Because I'm a plum and I forgot to edit it into the video. Sergio Perez did retire from the Grand Prix with an engine failure before Felipe Nasser's incident. So Hamilton got past Sergio Perez, and then later on that lap, Sergio Perez's engine failed, and he is out of the race. So I just wanted to point that out in case you think, where is Sergio Perez in all of this, since you were talking about him. Unfortunately, I did actually edit his retirement in but obviously because I'm an absolute dipstick, I obviously haven't put it into the actual main video itself, because that's what I am. So, it's unfortunate for Sergio Perez, also unfortunate for Harry Anto, and also unfortunate for Felipe Nasr. The three of them are out of the Italian Grand Prix. We've got Alonso there, who we've just rejoined in front of, but Alonso is on the full wet tyres, as he's not yet made the pit stop for intermediates, whereas me and Hamilton have. Of course, the track has now dried out, so we saw on the chart at the start of the race that the intermediate tyres would be needed for pretty much the majority of this Grand Prix. But as you can see, nothing happened in this second stint actually, so we're actually going to cut all the way to our next pit stop. So Lewis Hamilton was keeping in track with me very closely on the full wet tyres. However, when it came to intermediate tyres, I was in a class of my own. Like, I was taking time and time out of Hamilton. I'm not sure where Vettel is. Vettel's the one I'm a bit confused about. But in terms of racing Lewis Hamilton, I mean, the Mercedes mechanics are only just getting out. That's Hamilton in the pits there. There he is. And he's about to turn in and go in for his stop now. That's Hamilton. So you can see how much I've gained on Hamilton. It was about 1.5 to 2 seconds between me and Hamilton. And then it dropped, it went up to all the way up to 7 seconds. But we're coming out of the pits now. Rosberg leads the way, and that's my teammate Vettel there. Now, Vettel has not made his second pit stop. So not only have I rejoined in front of Vettel, but I've rejoined in front of him with a full pit stops advantage, showing the complete dominance that I've got so far in this Italian Grand Prix. Everything is going my way. Vettel is behind us and needs to make another pit stop, as well as does Nico Rosberg in the Mercedes in front of us. But Vettel has got a nice run through the Curva Grande. Will he make a move into the chicane? Not quite. But Vettel definitely getting a little bit sneaky there, as he wanted to try and hold me up potentially to make his pit stop a lot easier. But coming through the Lesmo corners, Vettel does back out of it, and he's actually lost some time to myself as my fresh intermediate tyres get working. On to lap 20 of the Grand Prix now, and everyone has made their pit stops for the intermediate tyres, and it's basically going to be a nice simple stroll to the finish line, but not for Lewis Hamilton, who is my main title rival for the second race running. He has got an issue, and this time it's an engine failure. So just like in Malaysia, Lewis Hamilton has had an engine blow up, and that is his race over with. So absolute drama here at the Italian Grand Prix. Hamilton will not finish for the second race running. Now, of course, in the first race, there was a battle, there was a crash between me and Hamilton. In the second race, there's obviously this retirement. But as we were coming along and I was talking about Hamilton, I saw the leaderboard was flicking between Vettel and Rosberg quite a lot. So I've gone back and had a look at it. So Vettel's made a good move here around the down the inside of Ascari. He made the move before Ascari. And as you can see, Rosberg's actually coming back at Vettel here as they make the charge towards the Parabolica bend. Now Rosberg goes to the inside line. Vettel defends the outside line, but Rosberg comes through on the inside and takes that move away from Vettel. And these two had a little titanic battle. So I thought I'd go back and watch as many of the clips I could possibly find. But as you can see here, Vettel and Rosberg now doing a drag race through the pit straight they go. The crowd will be loving this and hoping that Vettel can hold on against Rosberg, but unfortunately the straight line speed hacks of the Mercedes are too much, and Rosberg can take the second place. Can he? In fact, Vettel tries it, but Vettel did try and stick it around the outside, but Rosberg just better of it. Back towards the Parabolica we go, and Rosberg is still in front of Vettel for the time being, but Vettel looking very close. This time Vettel will have the slipstream. There's no DRS involved in any of this, so it's just a straight drag between these cars. Ferrari versus Mercedes, full-on drag. As you can see here, Vettel pulls out of the slipstream and flies past Nico Rosberg. Absolutely dominant speed there from the Ferrari driver. He then tucks in front of Rosberg, gets on the racing line, and into the chicane to start with. You can see that Vettel is now up into second. Rosberg is down to third. But moving further on into the Grand Prix, Vettel now into Ascari we go. Rosberg is coming back at Vettel again, and Rosberg down the inside into Ascari. Rosberg's going to make the move stick this time, and Vettel has to back out of it. Probably could have fought it around the outside, but there's a little bit of contact there between Vettel and Rosberg in the middle of Ascari. That's put Rosberg out of control, and unfortunately that was it for that battle. On to the final lap of the Grand Prix though. For myself, it was probably the most dominant Grand Prix I think we may have had all season. We are going to come through here and take a convincing win for the Italian Grand Prix in front of our home crowd. We come sliding across the start-finish line there. That is P1 for the Italian Grand Prix. A fantastic result for myself, and very, very good for the Drivers' Championship, with Lewis Hamilton failing to finish for a second race in a row now, and with me getting the win in both of those two events. It's really cemented myself, and it's mine to lose now, this championship. We are miles clear. It is mine to lose. I could be the Bottlebug that you were thinking of. But in terms of the Grand Prix itself, so on the full wet tyres, Lewis Hamilton especially was extremely competitive. I was struggling to get the gap up to 1 second. However, as soon as we made the pit stops for the intermediate tyres, that's when everything changed. Lewis Hamilton did not have any pace against, didn't have the speed to match me when we were on the full wets, and I was able to convincingly take the win in front of the home crowd. And of course, Ferrari's home race, and we've come through and gotten a 1-2. Absolutely stunning. Couldn't have asked for any more. Started P4 and also P9 for Vettel. Coming home P1 and P2 was a stunning result and a good fight back for Ferrari. Nico Rosberg unfortunately only getting third, and even in the constructor standings, that's going to hamper as well badly, as yeah, it's just going to really hurt Mercedes. So a very convincing win nonetheless. But as you can see from the full classification, Nico Hülkenberg and Bottas beat the two Red Bulls today. So a very strong result there for those drivers. But it's a confirmation then that Perez did retire. I just forgot to show it in because again, I'm a plum/dipstick. In the drivers' standings, we're now 81 points clear. We were 31 points clear 2 races ago, but thanks to 50 out of 50 points and Hamilton not scoring any, we've absolutely shot up in the drivers' standings, and we're doing very, very nicely. In the constructor standings, 68 points separates Ferrari and Mercedes. But yeah, like I said before, the end of the European season, we're moving on to the flyaway events for the next set of races, but it's definitely still mine to lose. Still some races like Malaysia and Japan I really do struggle at, so they're going to be some where the Mercedes will come back at me. But in terms of the rivalry, we absolutely battered Nico Rosberg. But guys, that's going to be it for the Italian Grand Prix. If you have enjoyed it, drop a like I said before. That'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. And I'll see you guys next time for the Singapore Grand Prix very, very soon. Take care all. Peace.